You've been lied to about who you are. The enemy has convinced you that you're small, insignificant, powerless, just another face in the crowd. But King David looked up at the stars and had a revelation so shocking that it makes demons tremble and angels worship. In Psalm 8, David discovers the mind-blowing truth about your identity that hell desperately wants to hide from you. You're not who you think you are. You're infinitely more powerful, more significant, more dangerous to darkness than you ever imagined. In the next 8 minutes, you're about to discover why the entire spiritual realm is watching you with either fear or wonder. Picture this. David is outside at night, probably as a shepherd boy, looking up at the incredible display of stars. The vastness hits him, the beauty overwhelms him, and suddenly, in that moment of feeling completely small and insignificant, God downloads a revelation that changes everything. Maybe you've had moments like that, looking at the night sky, feeling tiny and unimportant. Maybe life has convinced you that you don't matter. Maybe circumstances have made you feel powerless. Maybe people have told you that you're nothing special. If that's you, then what David discovered in Psalm 8 is about to completely revolutionize how you see yourself, your purpose, and your power. Because David didn't just have a nice thought about creation, he had a divine revelation about your true identity that is so earth-shaking, so heaven-moving, so hell-terrifying that it explains why you've been under such attack your entire life. The enemy knows who you really are. Angels know who you really are. All of heaven and hell know who you really are. The only one who's been kept in the dark about your true identity is you. But that's about to change. Because David is about to pull back the veil and show you exactly who God created you to be. David starts Psalm 8 with an explosion of worship that sets up everything that follows. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants you have established a stronghold against your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. Notice David starts by acknowledging God's absolute majesty. His name is majestic in all the earth. His glory fills the heavens. This isn't just pretty worship language. David is establishing the cosmic scale of who he's dealing with. But then comes something shocking in verse 2. Through the praise of children and infants you have established a stronghold against your enemies. Did you catch that? God uses the praise of children, the most innocent, powerless people in human society, to establish strongholds against his enemies. Not armies, not weapons, not powerful adults. Children's praise becomes spiritual warfare. This is your first clue about your true identity. God specializes in using what the world considers weak and insignificant to accomplish what seems impossible. Your praise, your worship, your simple faith doesn't just reach God's ears, it builds fortresses against spiritual enemies. But David's just getting started. What he discovers next about human identity will blow your mind. Now comes verses 3 to 4, where David faces the overwhelming question that changes everything. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? David is doing the math, and it doesn't add up. He's looking at the infinite cosmos, galaxies upon galaxies, billions of stars, the vast expanse of creation, and he's asking the question that haunts every human heart. In all this vastness, do I actually matter? Think about the scale David is contemplating. The nearest star is 25 trillion miles away. Our galaxy contains 100 billion stars. There are over 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. The universe is 93 billion light-years across. And in all that incomprehensible vastness, David asks, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? This is the question that keeps people awake at night. This is the question that drives people to depression. This is the question that makes people feel completely insignificant and purposeless. But David's about to discover something that will shatter that lie forever. Because God's answer to this question is so shocking, so mind-blowing, so universe-rocking that it explains why hell has been working overtime to make you forget who you really are. Because the truth about your identity isn't just encouraging, it's earth-shaking and hell-terrifying. And then comes God's answer in verses 5 to 6, and it's more shocking than anything you've ever heard about yourself. You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet. Stop. Do you understand what David just said? In the vast cosmos, among all created beings, God placed humanity just a little lower than the angels. You're not an insignificant speck in the universe, you're the second highest ranking beings in all of creation. Above every animal, above every natural force, above every earthly power, you rank just below the angelic realm. But it gets even more incredible. Crown them with glory and honor. You're not just highly ranked, you're crowned. You have divine glory and honor as your permanent identity. And then the most shocking part. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet. You're not just highly ranked, you're given rulership. God made you the manager, the overseer, the authority over his entire earthly creation. Everything is under your feet. This is why demons tremble when they see you worship. This is why hell works overtime to make you feel small and powerless. This is why the enemy attacks your identity constantly. Because you're not just a believer, you're a crowned ruler with divine authority that makes you dangerous to darkness. All flocks and herds, and the animals of the wild, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, all that swim the paths of the seas. David is essentially saying, everything that moves, everything that lives, everything that exists in the natural realm has been placed under human authority. But here's what most people miss. This isn't just talking about physical dominion, this is revealing your spiritual authority structure. If God placed the natural creation under your authority, what does that say about your authority over spiritual forces? Jesus confirmed this when he said, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. Luke 10:19. You have authority over every demonic force trying to attack you, every spirit of fear trying to paralyze you, every lie trying to deceive you, every scheme trying to destroy you. This is your true identity. You're a crowned ruler with divine authority, ranking just below angels, with everything in creation placed under your feet. No wonder hell has been working so hard to convince you that you're powerless, insignificant, and weak. Because when you discover who you really are, you become absolutely dangerous to darkness. Maybe you've been living far below your true identity. Maybe you've believed the lies about being insignificant, powerless, or unimportant. Maybe you've been acting like a victim instead of the crowned ruler God created you to be. Here's how to start walking in your Psalm 8 identity. Step 1. Acknowledge your divine ranking. Every morning, declare, I am crowned with glory and honor, ranking just below the angels. Step 2. Exercise your rulership authority. Stop asking demons to leave, command them to go. You outrank them. Step 3. Remember your cosmic significance. In the vast universe, you're not forgotten, you're featured. God is mindful of you. Step 4. Walk in your dominion. Stop being passive about your circumstances. You have authority, use it. Step 5. Praise like the powerful being you are. Your praise doesn't just reach heaven, it builds strongholds against enemies. The enemy has convinced the church to act like powerless victims begging for scraps. But Psalm 8 reveals the truth. You're crowned royalty with universal authority. When you truly understand your identity, you stop begging God for things and start commanding circumstances to align with heaven. You stop being intimidated by problems and start being dangerous to darkness. It's time to stop living below your rank and start walking in the identity that makes demons tremble and angels worship. Friends, David's revelation in Psalm 8 doesn't just tell you about humanity in general. It reveals your personal identity as a crowned ruler in God's kingdom. If this identity revelation hit you and you're ready to stop living small, comment, I am crowned, below and tell us one area where you need to start walking in your true authority. And if you've been living like a victim instead of the royalty you are, share this video with someone who needs to discover their shocking identity. Your revelation might be the key to their breakthrough. Hit like if you're ready to walk in your crowned identity. Subscribe for daily revelations, and remember, you're not insignificant in the cosmos, you're featured. You're not powerless on earth, you're crowned. You're not forgotten by heaven, you're mindfully watched and divinely empowered. Your true identity makes demons tremble and angels worship. It's time to start living like the royalty you've always been.